Civil war will make you ponder man's inhumanity to man and give you pause that something like this could happen in the United States. Civil War is set in the not-so-distant future and follows a band of journalists making their way from New York City to Washington, D.C. in hopes of interviewing the President of the United States before Western forces overcome him. The politics of this film are left out of the story for the most part. We never really hear the reasoning for why our country is at war with itself, but little clues are dropped here and there, like the President is already serving his third term, a red flag to anyone who knows the Constitution, and that he has unleashed the military on our citizens for reasons unknown. Despite the ambiguity of why the country is under siege, the story is focused solely on 4 photojournalists and their cross-country journey to our nation's capital through back roads and rural landscapes. The age range varies amongst our main players from 23 to early 70s. This is important because the experience and demeanor of these seasoned journalists play a key role in all the vital imagery this film shows us. The character arc of each of these people is shown extremely well through close-ups and reaction shots of what we as the audience and they as the participants are witnessing. The movie, in my mind, is quite thought-provoking. These are my favorite types of movies to see with friends or family, as a discussion over dinner or on the car ride home can present perspectives that may or may not give you even more insight and understanding into what you've just watched. This film demands your attention. Watching it with a pause button on the ready or a phone interruption will break the tone and pace, in my opinion. So try and see it in a theater, or discipline yourself to watch it without distractions if you have to stream it later. The movie is violent, as you can imagine, and doesn't hold back in that category. If you have far-right leaning friends you see this with, be prepared for their monologue of why we need more guns to protect ourselves immediately following the credits. As I mentioned earlier, the character arcs are done well. Kirsten Dunst plays a seasoned reporter, Lee, who has seen a lot in her tenure as a war reporter, and she plays it beautifully. Her co-worker, Joel, played by Wagner Moura, plays another seasoned journalist with a little more enthusiasm for the money shots. Dead bodies, people being shot right in front of them. As long as they get the picture, that's what's important. Cailee Spaeny plays Jessie, the 23-year-old rookie who idolizes Lee and her career up to this point. At the beginning of the film, Lee is all about getting the picture and recording this time in American history, and Joel gets excited at the thought of gunfire erupting close by. His enthusiasm for photos that sell is unsettling, in my opinion, and I believe that is what the director is going for. Jessie starts out, as anyone would, feeling uneasy and even shocked at the killings she witnesses, but hanging around Joel, things begin to rub off on her. I thought it was interesting how Lee, the war photographer with so much experience under her belt, slowly begins to question it all as the story progresses, and Jessie, in contrast, succumbs to the adrenaline rush of getting that one great photo and leaving her humanity at the door. Now for some spoilers. If you want to skip to my review, please click in the chapter stops in the comments to avoid any unwanted story leaks. One scene had the oldest and wisest member of their entourage, Sammy, played by Stephen McKinley Henderson, get shot after saving the lives of his friends from a gun-toting nationalist. His death is slow and impacts the group tremendously. Lee seems the most affected, and a key point in the film with this character shows a picture on her camera that she had taken of Sammy's slumped-over dead body. As the film slowly zoomed in on this morbid shot, I thought to myself, my God, who takes a picture of a dead friend? Forgetting that she's a photojournalist by trade. I no sooner thought this when it showed her deleting the picture from her camera. This marked a turning point for her, I felt, as this was not just any corpse from any war, but her friend who had saved all their lives. The death of Sammy tore up Jesse and Joel as well, but their grief seemed short-lived, as their mission of getting to Washington, D.C. still needed to be accomplished. Toward the climax of the film, a gunfight in the White House is going down, and Jesse, not thinking of anything but getting the perfect picture, steps out in the middle of a hallway with her eye to the viewfinder, trying to snap a few shots, when Lee realizes that she's in real danger and runs out and pushes her to the ground, saving Jesse, but then being shot and killed herself. Jesse, in true photojournalistic form, gets a picture of Lee, her idol, being shot and falling to the floor after saving her life. The military group that they were following in this gunfight moved on to get their intended target, the president. Joel ignores Lee's dead body because the story won't wait. Jesse gives a slight pause and looks back at Lee before realizing she needs to get that action shot of the soldiers killing the president. This broke my heart, as the surviving characters of this film all have lost their humanity in one way or another. It's a brilliant film, and the humanity, or should I say lack thereof, is a great conversation piece for a university film class or friends who like thought-provoking stories. There is a shocking scene or two that may get you questioning what's going to happen next, and as I said before, the politics are minimal. The fact this takes place in our own country is unsettling, but brings the viewer a realization that anything could happen in today's world. My only critique is that gun lovers may see this and feel the need to add to their more than sufficient gun collection. Wonderful performances by the cast, a beautiful soundtrack, and the imagery was unforgettable. Go see this movie. I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to each other out there.
You don't know what side they're fighting for.
Someone's trying to kill us. We are trying to kill them.